Hey everyone. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, we're on the very last of our cards. Minor Arcana. So we left off with the wands last time. So now we're going to move into the cups. Cups are surrounded by emotions, relationships, creativity. It's also imagination. It is also one of the signs that are more feminine. That's why we can see it as being more emotional. It is also associated with the element of water. And when we get ready to do time, this is the summer months, and it's also connected to months. So if we were trying to figure out something to do with a time frame, we could use the numbers on the cups, like one cup would be 1 month, two would be 2 months, so on. Okay, and we're going to start with the ace. The ace is always a gift. I hope I can get this so that you can see it. How's that? Well, cups are a gift from God. As you can see, God's hand is here. And it's also an opportunity for you. So we can present that as an opportunity. What we see here is the hand of God. Like I said, it's a gift and opportunity. The clouds in the sky, okay, are the opportunities can dissipate. So over time, it can not, I don't know what's going on here. So the dove and the olive branch, that is grace and peace. And it's also forgiveness. And the water, as you can see, and it's also pouring out. It's the emotions. It's the emotions. It's relationships. It's love. The pink lotus flowers, the blossoms at the bottom, are spiritual awakening and enlightenment. I don't understand what's going on. The overflowing cup, it's the gifts more than you can imagine. It's overflowing. Okay, now the key words to this card is relationships. It's peace. It's love. It's healing. Okay, but if it were to be upside down, it would be separation, resentment, bitterness. It would be stagnation, lack of a connection. It's the rejection of spirit. It's also a missed opportunity. Number 2, I can see that. I love this card. 2s are all about moments where there's tension but balance. The symbols are this here. That is communication. Lion and the wings. It's elevation of animal desires. So it's desires brought forward. The woman in blue, she's feminine energy. And the man in red, he's the masculine energy. Now, the cups in their hands and they're touching it together. That means a connection. That is heartfelt because it's at heart level. And the rose-colored clouds, the pink clouds at the top, is everything colored by romantic feelings. It's a romantic time. All right. And what this, the key words to this is union, partnership. It's a connection. It's love at first sight. It can be romance. But if it were to be upside down, it would be discord. It would be arguments. It would be unrequited love. It would be rejection. This would be upside down. Okay. Now, the Three of Cups. We see three young ladies dancing. Now, this is a celebration. Okay. This is at a time in someone's life where we have reason to celebrate. Something will come to an end. I think of it like graduating high school or graduating college or, you know, an accomplishment that's yours to celebrate. And threes also are associated with a closed circuit. So something that goes through a process and then comes back to the end so that it is fully completed. Now, the lifted cups up in the air, that's celebration. It's honoring a friendship. Okay. And the woman in red, she's passion and emotion. The woman in white is intellect. Okay. And clarity. The woman in green, that's earthiness. That's abundance. The pumpkins, it's also abundance, but it's fruition. It's having more than you need. Okay. And the key words to this card is friendship, family, casual practice. It's joy. It's fun. It's abandoned. It's just being joyful. It's a celebration. It's connections. But in reverse, it's excessive partying. Somebody who takes it over the edge or feeling left out. Or an awkward situation would be upside down. All right. Or it could also mean a hangover. All right. And with the Four of Cups, as you can see, this young man is leaning against a tree. He has three cups in front of him, full and ready, and one is being offered. He is not a happy person. This is the symbols, I'm going to say. And number 4 is all about stability. It's all about reliability. It's it's security, okay? And at some point, it can actually mean stagnation. Okay, so we've got the tree. The tree is shelter. It's also safety and tradition. It and the cups on the ground, that's unsatisfactory emotions or relationships. The cup in the hand of God is a fresh gift. It's something new that he is not paying attention to, that's being offered to him at this time. His arms crossed over his chest is that his heart is closed. He is not able to see the new gift. Okay, so the key words to this card is discontent, it's dissatisfaction, it's boredom, it is also the lack of gratitude, and stagnation. Like I had said before, stagnation. And in reverse, it's a deeper end of that. So it would be more like depression. It would be unhealthy or dangerous responses to boredom. It would be taking pleasure on self-pity. Somebody who dwells there. That is not okay. Number 5 of cups. Now, 5 has a way of bringing in crises and unpleasant things. But in order for us to see the positive in our life, we have to go through some of the more difficult things. And this is how we grow and learn. So this is what this card is. And the symbols of this card is the 3 tipped cups, the ones that have split. They're, something has been lost. And there's a mourning for that. And there's 2 upright cups. And that's what's left to take with them into the future. The river is troubled emotions, and the castle is return to daily life. The cloak and hood, it's being overwhelmed, seeing that it is over his head. And the cloudy skies is confusion. It's also sadness. And the bridge is moving from the old life to the new life. Okay? The key words are mourning, feelings of loss, it's sadness, regret, it's repentance, it's bitterness and frustration. And upside down, it's self-pity, it's obsession over the loss instead of moving forward. It's beating yourself up all the time. It's that bad self-talk that we give ourselves every now and then. And it's the failure to mourn. Some people don't mourn easily, so they just kind of fall in and out of their emotions rather without any logical way of doing it. Number 6. This is a very nice little card. Okay. The number 6 is, it's about reestablishing normalcy and calm after the number 5 of that chaos and upheaval. And in this particular card, we see the flowers. Those are gifts or kind actions. It's also the white flowers, in the cup. Well, that's purity and innocence. Then we have the bigger child, and that child is the giver, while the smaller child is the receiver. And the guard in the garden and the garden wall, that is a protected area. It separates from the outside world. The house is protection and stability. The key words to this card is nostalgia, happy memories, it's kindness, it's innocence, it's selflessness. It can be generosity, but upside down. It's living in or romanticizing the past instead of viewing it as it truly was. It's insincere actions. It's manipulation. It's buying affection or friendship. So that is that in reverse. Now we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups. And I really do love Seven of Cups. Hold on. All right. And what we have is the Seven of Cups. And sevens brings the energy of assessment into to the forefront. It brings it forward. Where after everything we've done, when we've come so far, it's time for us to say, okay, do we want to stay here? Do we want to get bigger? Do we want to downsize? What is it we want to do with our lives? So the figure in the shadow, which would be of the cups, this gentleman here, he is he's overshadowed by the number of choices. So he is kind of like standing there, not being able to make a decision. The snake in there is renewal or manipulation. The dragon is bravery in battle. Okay. The laurel wreath, that is victory and fame. Jewels is riches. The face is romance. And the tower is security. And the shrouded figure in a cup, that is otherworldly pursuits. You know, it's these dreams that we have. This is what this card is about. And possibly not knowing which way to go with them. So in a reading, I say, well, do you have several options going on for you? And they usually help me along and tell me, yeah. So the key words to this, being upright, it's confusion, you know, because there are a lot of choices. It's dreams, it's illusions, it's a lack of focus because he's just standing there not making a decision at all. And then in reverse, it's fears, it's daydreams, it's interfering with responsibilities. So it's escapism. So instead of focusing or making a choice, he's avoiding making a choice. and just going, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And that's where he's at. All right. Now we're going to go with the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups, I think is a very sad card because it's usually something that comes into our lives that make us have to make a decision, and rather quickly. So it can also be a trap where the eight, looking like the infinity sign, if you place it on its side, you can get caught in that everyday mundane type living that you aren't able to actually see any other way of doing anything. So you can get stagnant in that idea or thought processes. There's a broken pattern of a cup up here. by the moon. And that is something that is missing. Okay. Sometimes we get through our days and we know that there's something you wish you would be doing at this time instead of what is happening. So that's what that is about. And the constellation, it's being guided. Constellations, as you know, ships and ship captains follow the stars to get from one point to another. And the cloak and staff pouch, it's taking a journey. It's going beyond. So it's a quest, it's a journey, it's a search, it's discontent, it's dissatisfaction, it's unhappiness, and it can be a mission. But upside down, it's settling, it's accepting, it's taking on the second best, it's running away, it's also making excuses. Nine of Cups. Now, nines is an individual experience. It's what has happened to one person. Okay, so the Nine of Clubs displayed on the tables, it's pride and content and contentment. The cloth that covers the tables, that it means something that's hidden, something's not quite in view. Now, the keywords to this card is wishes fulfilled. It's contentment, it's pride, it's hospitality, it's worldly pleasures, it's happiness. But in reverse, it can be overindulgence. It can be smugness. It can be selfishness. Like anything, you can always take it to the opposite side, which makes it negative. Okay. Now, the Ten of Cups. This is the end of every process. All tens are the finality of what the suit goes through to get to this point. The rainbow is a promise. It's also a vow. And this was made by God to never create a flood that takes the whole world at one time. The stream in the photo, you can see the children are playing by the stream. It's the affection that flows through their lives. And the house in the background here, that's stability. Now, the key words to this card is family, domestic bliss. It can also be optimism and comfort. It can be peace and sanctuary. It can also be happiness and deep affection. But in the reverse, it means family disputes. It can also mean arguments. It can be unhappiness or a false front. It can be separation or broken promises. It can also mean betrayal. We're going to go to the swords. Okay, we're going to do swords. All right, I don't know why this is this way. The swords, like I said before, they're a gift. They are a gift from God. And swords are all about intellect, thoughts, communication, truth, problems, and situation. I often come across the understanding of a two-edged sword, which this would be. So it can do damage both ways. Okay. Now, the sword is associated with air, but it's also associated with weeks and the season autumn. It also is associated with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It also is a male energy, so it's more masculine in nature. Okay, and aces are about self, the one, yang, and beginnings. Okay, so we see the hand of God once again holding the sword, and this is a gift and an opportunity. The clouds in the sky is the opportunity will dissipate. It, if you don't grab it, it's gone. So that is what that means. The crown with 4 points, okay, are the elements. The green is earth, the blue is water, the white is air, and the red is fire. Okay, the sword tip, the 4 elements are in service to spirit. That's why it's pointing up. Okay, the olive branch is peace. The laurel, branch is victory. The landscape is seeing the big picture. We can see the mountains through there. Okay, and the key words to this card is logic, it's intellect, it's reason, it's truth, it's victory, it's communication and knowledge. But once we put this upside down, it becomes indecision. It becomes miscommunication and confusion. It becomes failure and injustice. It becomes also a missed opportunity. Now we're back to the twos again, okay? And again, it's tension and balance. So we're working on that. And as you can see, she is blindfolded and her hands are crossed her chest with the swords, and it's dark out. So we can say that it's not really a pleasant time, okay? Her arms are crossed over her heart is not listening to her heart. She's not listening to what's inside. And the blindfold is about reliance on logic, but not seeing all of the picture or all the facts. And the water is emotional wisdom. The moon is intuitive wisdom. And the swords are desire to see all sides of a situation. Because like I said, it's a two-edged sword, so it can see everything either way. So upright, it's needing to make a decision. It is a lack of facts. It is also denial. It is also head and heart are conflicted. Upside down is ignoring the facts. It is living, it's lying to yourself. It's living in a state of denial. So this is where this card comes in. Now, this one here, I think everyone could understand it if they saw what it looks like. It's somebody's heart. Okay, this is somebody's heart, and we can tell by the barbed wire and the swords piercing through it that it's obviously something that has hurt this person, and it's hurt them in the area of their heart. So with the 3 of swords, it's beginnings, it's the middle, it's the end. This is the end of, you know, it's something that went from one place to the next and then to the ending. So the swords are painful words and hurtful truths, I would say. It's like I said, the double-edged sword where You're going to get heard no matter what the person says. It's going to happen. So the swords are painful words. Okay. So we're going to see the heart is emotional reactions. Um, the fire is emotions are trapped in pain. And the barren landscape, seeing nothing's growing, is that what was once alive is no longer. It is now dead. So what it pre-existed is no longer existing. So I would almost consider, if I saw it in a relationship reading, that maybe the relationship was coming to an end. Upright, it's painful truths, it's heartbreak, it's betrayal, it's unfaithfulness, it's a third party interference. It, to me, okay, it would be a husband, a wife, and somebody in between. Okay. So in reverse, it would be confusion, painful miscommunications, or hurtful lies. It would also be malicious words. Yeah. This card, I don't know, upside down or right side up, it's going to hurt the person, you know. It's not a helpful card. Now we're going to move to 4. 4 is a stability, if you remember. And here we have a man sitting on what looks like a concrete bed. He has 3 swords pointing down to him and 1 sword going lengthwise to him. Well, it also can be security. So the 3 upright swords above here, right here. Now that is challenges, it's concerns, it's problems, it's worries. The horizontal sword here, it's the mind at rest. Okay, we're not weaving it around, we're actually taking a break. Okay, the angel with the dove. Okay, that is peace and divine inspiration. Okay, so upright, it means rest, peace, recovery, meditation. It is regrouping. Upside down is useless obsession. It is also procrastination, disordered thinking, and denial. Five of Swords. 5 of Swords. It shakes things up. It's associated with chaos and produces change. Okay, the swords in this picture, the prize or the spoils of war. The man with sword is the appeared victor. The man on the beach is the apparent loser. The ocean, that's unfathomable situations. And the stormy skies are confusion. It's a situation, a confusing situation, no clear thought, just like me, and ill omen. So upright, this card is victory. It's defeat, it's humiliation. It can be aggression and poor sportsmanship. And upside down, it's victory or dishonor. Six of Swords. Well, the Six of Swords, it's the getting back to the normal everyday to-day life. Okay, it's the day after the chaos of number 5 and the stability of number 4. Here we've got a boat and the oarsman. Well, he is help and support. That's what the boat oarsman is all about. The rough and calm water is moving from trouble into safety. Okay. The swords in the boat are some problems you aren't able to get away from. They just come with you. And the cloak, and it being dark, it's stealth and secrecy. So it's somebody who's going from being up front and bold is gone into hiding somewhat, to not be seen. So the upright, it's journey. It can be escape. It can be travel. It can be protection. It can be shelter or assistance. But in the reverse, it's delay. It's unseen danger. It's warnings. It's wait. It's remaining stuck. Okay, that's what it is like in the reverse. Here we've got a young man who's taking swords out of someone's camp. So what we've got going on here is the fact that he's stealing. And 7 brings the energy of assessment. So we've gone through our life a little bit, and now we've gone past the chaos, and now it's like, okay, so what do I do from here? Okay, so the tent in the distance is leaving community behind. Okay, and the red hat and boots, it's being driven by passion, right? So upright, it's stealing, it's dishonesty, it's spy, it's a traitor, it's a it's rescuing. It is also stealing. Boy, I can't run my mouth today. But in reverse, it's caught in the act. It's exposure. It's failure of a dishonorable plan. So if this showed up, I would say, well, if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, you just might get caught. Okay? That's what I would say. Now we've got number 8 card. And I feel as though many of us have felt this way in our life. As you can see, she has an opening within her swords, but yet she does not know it. Okay? Because she is bound, she has been blindfolded. So this is a power. 8s are power, like I said before, because it's the infinity sign if you put it sideways. And with this power, it usually happens at great speed. So you become overwhelmed during this time. Okay, the blindfold in this picture is unable to see clearly. And the ropes is unable to move, where you can find yourself stuck to a point where there's nothing else you can do but to just be there. And when she's surrounded by water, that's emotions and that influence her logic. So her emotions are dictating what she does. Okay, so upright, it's restricted. It's dangerous. It's feeling trapped. It's also complex problems and helplessness. But in the reverse, it's somebody who's given up, who has stopped trying. Okay, and can see no other way to get out. Okay, and they play the victim. They are the victim, and it's done inside their mind. Okay, because she does have, all she has to do is step forward, and she would be free. Okay. Number 9. Now this card represents, to me, nightmares. And I have had plenty lately. So I can very much relate to this card. And nightmares is something, the number 9s relate to a person individually. So it is something that can only happen to one person. Even though many people can have this experience, but it is solely the experience of that one person had themselves. So the black background to this is the black hours of the night where there is no light. The thoughts, the swords are thoughts and worries. It's the stuff that keeps you up at night. The red roses on the quilt is passion. The astrological symbol on the quilt is order. The slain, where is it? I don't see it. They say the slain dove is on there. I think it's on the headboard. It's nightmares, worries, and that can make peace impossible. So upright, it's sleeplessness. It's nightmares, worries, despair, and oppression. In the reverse, it's insomnia, overuse of sleeping aids. Okay, so if I saw this in somebody's reading, I would question if they take any medication to help them sleep. Now 10 is the end. Remember, that's the final end to everything. Okay, and that is the completion and the fulfillment and the excess. That's all number 10. The sky is this. Either way, the sun is either rising or it's setting in the background. The red blanket, that's passion. That's blood. Okay. And upright, it's surrender. It's ending. It's defeat. It's ruin. It's giving up. It's submission. It's stop fighting. Okay. But in the upside down, in the reverse, it becomes melodrama. It becomes refusing to let go. It is also denial. Okay. Now we're going to go to Pentacles, and Pentacles is it's resources, it's money, it's the physical world. It's also work, health, and the human body. Pentacles are earth. It's an earth sign. And it also can be interpreted as years or winter. Now, the association to the zodiac sign, it's Taurus, it's Virgo, and it's Capricorn, and the energy is feminine. So it is got a more feminine relation to it. So it has some emotion to it. Okay. And aces are always the starting point of any one thing, and it's opportunity and a gift again from God. Okay. Now the hand of God is there, so we know it's a gift and it's an opportunity. And the clouds means again that it's going to dissipate if not used. Okay. The Pentacles is the element of the physical world in service of the spirit. The gate is the threshold taking you from one world to another. And the white lilies is purity. Okay, the key words to this card is abundance, money, wealth, health, pleasure. It can be creation, luck, achievement, and goals. In the reverse, it's lack, a missed opportunity, lost resources. It's also stocking money for its own sake. It's somebody who's a hoarder, but hoards for money instead of helping others. Okay, instead of maybe doing the things they should be doing for their family members. All right, and then we've got number 2. He reminds me of the Fool. If you remember him in the High Arcana, And twos are tension and balance. Again, as you can see, he's trying to balance the money. The pentacles in this is in the infinity sign is the maintaining of balance here in this physical world. Okay. And the ship at sea in the back is going with the flow towards a destination. Okay. Standing on balanced rocks, it's maintaining a challenging position. Okay. And striped clothing is playfulness. And the large hat is ego. Okay. Now, upright, this card is calm, it's zen-like, it's balance, it's tight budget, it's comparisons, it's comparison shopping, making a good deal or finding good deals. In the reverse, though, it is financial distress, it's worries. It is having to rob Peter to pay Paul. It's awkward situations to do with money. Okay. Number 3. It's the completion of a logical conclusion. Okay. It's also the Holy Trinity, and it can also mean the triple goddess. Okay. And the sculpture in this picture is, it means the physical expression of a creative idea. In the church, it's working together for a greater good. Okay. And the woman is intuition and creativity. The man is rationality and planning. The sculptor is physical skills. And he is elevated, the sculptor is elevated. So he's using his skills for a higher goal. Okay. The flower and the cross, it's uniting these abilities to manifest inspiration. Okay. So in the upright, it's creation, it's skilled work, it's highlighting abilities, it's teamwork. But in the reverse, okay, it's shabby work. It's not doing your best. It's also contributions being ignored. It's like doing something really good at work. You've accomplished something and getting no praise for it. Okay? That's what that's all about. Now we're talking about number 5 in Pentacles. We've got a man sitting on his really square throne. He is pretty much holding on to his money, right? So this is the challenges in life. It's the part that awakens us to new possibilities. Okay, that's what number 5 represents. So let me see what this is. Okay. Okay. No, that's 4. That's 4. Okay. 4 is stability. I'm sorry. This throne is made into a block, so it's stability and security. And the city in the background is prosperity. The man outside the city is outside the flow of the material goods. Okay, he's not in that. The pentacle above his head is thoughts are on money. Okay, his thoughts are on money and resources. And the pentacle in front of his chest, that's money or resources that are dearest to him. That's his dearest possessions. And the pentacles at his feet, it's his life is built on money or resources. So the keywords to this card: upright means protection, saving. It's guarding and maintaining resources. Upside down, it's hoarding, it's greediness, it's taking what isn't yours. It's also misuse of resources. Now we're going to go to 5. I'm sorry. Now, this is, like I said before, it's when a challenge comes through and it produces us to look for different possibilities in our life. The crutch in this picture, as you can see, there's a crutch. It's relying on help and unable to stand on your own, okay? The stained glass window in the church is a connection between the physical world and the spiritual world. The church is a social religious. It's social religious. It's also political aid, okay? And winter is the harshest time for it to happen, okay? So outright, it's poverty, it's lack, it's need, it's hunger, it's health concerns, it's rejection, it's rejecting help. In the reverse, it's relying on charity, unnecessarily taking advantage of others. It's neglecting yourself or your finances. Six. Okay, as you can see, this man who's now taken on a role after all of his trouble and has decided to do something very generous. So in here, he is a prosperous businessman. So it means a authoritative combined with the available resources to give to others. Okay. The beggars are the people in need of resources. Okay. The scales is the judgment or process involved in order to receive resources. So upright, it's charity, it's donations, it's grants, it's taxes, it's sound judgment, it's asking for help, and it's fairness, it's a gift. Okay, but in the reverse, we're talking about being unable to help when asked, uncharitability. It's also judgment. It's also cheapness. It's also it's also selfishness. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. This man is harvesting or attempting to harvest, but it's not yet ready. So he's assessing what he has. He's checking to see if it's worth, picking at this time. So the vines are ongoing work, okay? And the Pentacles is the result of the work. So upright, it's assessment, it's harvest, it's rewards, it's evaluation, it's reflection, okay? And in the reverse, it's his plans didn't work out, or disappointment, or misused opportunities, or harvesting too soon. That's what this card is all about. And then we have 8. Now, the 8 of Pentacles is the power to, it's power that moves quickly into our lives. I think I've said that. And it makes us take a look and to assess what it is that we want to see at the end. All right. So the simple pentacles, which aren't fancy, that are the first efforts of his trade. And then as the next, the intricate pentacles that you see in here is that he actually honed and mastered his skills. So upright, it's work, it's skills, it's craftsmanship, it's diligence, it's focus, it's drive, it's attention to detail. Upside down, it's shabby work. Okay, it's poor workmanship. It's also a workaholic. It can also be a boring job. It could be tediousness. Okay. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. And that, again, is an individual experience. The lush garden is ripeness, it's riches, it's harvest. Falcon is discipline. Venus symbol is the love and values. The snail is fertility, stability, and security. The upright, this is safety, solitude, it's material wealth, it's discipline, it's self-confidence, it's individual achievement. In the reverse, though, it is not following through. It's dissatisfaction. It's looking for external praise from somebody else. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is the finality. It's the things that have finally come to an end, and fulfillment is abound. Now, the body language of the child, woman, and the man, that together constitutes a family connection. The child, its hopes and plans for the future. The old man is a connection between the spiritual and the physical worlds. Its roots, its traditions. The white dogs is mundane life. It's also loyalty and domestication. Okay. And the pentacles in the tree of life pattern, it's daily life infused with spirit. Now, upright, it means stability, it means family, it means security, it means wealth, abundance, comfort, roots, and connections. But in the reverse, it's insecurity. It is pretension. It is domestic troubles. It's deep family problems. This is what you would see if this card is upside down. So I would ask my person, I would ask the person, I said, you're having some problems at home. That's how I would come to ask about those things. Next week, we'll be working on the court cards. Okay. And once we do that, I am going to go ahead and do a couple readings. I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm going to show you how to clear your cards and how to protect them when you have them. And we'll do a couple readings, 3 cards, past, present, future. So until next week, I thank you for being here. Please like and share, and visit WindDancer-Treasures.com and show me a little love. All right, everybody. Blessings to you all, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. So God bless. Bye-bye.